Hello and welcome to CSTA Wyoming podcast, the show for all things computer science in the WYO. I'm Megan Garnhart, CSTA Wyoming President and a Wyoming high school computer science teacher. In today's episode, we will be speaking with Georgette Price from cyber.org. Hi, Georgette. We're glad you can be here with us today.
Hi, Megan. I'm very happy to be here.
Thank you so much. Tell us a little bit about cyber.org and some of your background.
Right. So, Cyber.org was founded in 2012, and its mission is to improve the K-12 cybersecurity literacy and create a more robust and diverse cybersecurity workforce. And so we're able to do that by providing access to free K-12 cybersecurity curriculum and free teacher professional development resources. And that is our part in helping to solve the cybersecurity workforce shortage. So right now we have pretty expansive reach in all 50 states with over 30,000 teachers enrolled in our curriculum platform, using it with thousands of students nationwide. And then we also do understand that there is a workforce gap in cybersecurity. And so that's why we're really focused on offering foundational and technical cybersecurity curriculum. And of course, everything's free, which is important, including the professional development and curriculum itself. So at cyber.org, I am the director of partnerships. I've been with cyber.org for about 2.5 years. And that's been my role really since I started here, is to develop partnerships with people like Wyoming CSTA and other nonprofits and industry partners across the U.S. to make sure that K-12 educators are getting access to all the free resources that they have available to them. A little bit about me before I started with cyber.org actually came from K-12 background myself. I was a school counselor. And I also worked with military students. I did military support groups and individual counseling for military students in K-12. And I managed federal grants for the local school district here in Louisiana.
Wonderful. Thank you so much. I love that you are also an educator or were involved in school in your past. That's wonderful. Love to hear that. Now, I know this, and I know some of our probably our listeners and participants will as well, and I know Abby has as well. But tell us about your incredible conference that you guys have each year, your EdCon.
Oh, yeah. I love talking about EdCon. It's my baby. It's so exciting to get to plan everything and communicate with teachers prior to the conference and then meeting them in real life when they arrive. This year, our conference will be June 15th through 17th. And it's always in June because that's the National Cybersecurity Education Month. Our conference is designed to inspire and empower novice and expert K-12 educators, including teachers, counselors, and administrators, with the skills and resources to teach cybersecurity. The conference is presented by the Cybersecurity Infrastructure and Security Agency, which is CISA, who partially funds our efforts. And they make sure that not only is this conference available for K-12 educators at a very reasonable price, only $50 for educators, they also help provide travel grants that are available to educators as well. This year, we're giving 300 travel grants away for up to $750 reimbursable to teachers. So the great thing about our conference is it is a national conference. We bring cybersecurity educators from across the U.S. This year we'll be in Orlando, Florida, right outside Universal. And there's some special ticket prices for Universal too, available just to our conference attendees on our website. So at our conference this year, we actually are giving teachers a choice, kind of a choose their own adventure. They can either do a traditional conference and attend a new breakout every hour, or they can choose to do a beginner or advanced deep dive into our cyber range, which is another one of our great free resources that's available to teachers. And if they decide to do the deep dive, they'll get a 2.5-day workshop in the cyber range. If they decide to do the breakouts, they'll have an opportunity to get a look at all of the curriculum we have to offer, including new courses that will be coming out in the summer. They will also hear from industry experts and get to see their no-cost resources from some of our partners like Palo Alto Networks. And then they will also learn from teachers like themselves. We have several teachers who are presenting this year. And of course, our Ed Award winners will be presenting this year as well.
Wonderful. And just to double check, your scholarships and the things that are offered, are those still open and available to apply
Yes.
for?
So our travel grants are still open and available. All of that's on our website under workshop and events for EdCon. You can apply for your travel grant on the website. You can go straight to the registration site to get your $50 registration. That will end April 30th. That's the end of early bird. You can book your hotel in our block rate to get a great deal at the Doubletree Universal, which is where we'll be. So all of that's available on the website.
Wonderful. And we will make sure that we have that linked when we post this as well so that our listeners can easily access that because I know that I didn't end up getting to go last year, but Abby and I had both gotten those travel grants in advance and I unfortunately had to pass on mine, but we were both able to get those and it was such an incredible opportunity. So want to make sure lots of folks can get those. So we did get a couple questions submitted from our members, which is really exciting. And the first one was, if I've never taught cybersecurity, but I want to get started, where should I start?
Okay, so it really depends on your grade level and if you're interested in foundational or technical. I think a great place to start if you've never done anything is a couple options. One, you can check out, we actually offer on-demand professional development now. We have 3 courses that are available for on-demand. We have our 6 through 8 cybersecurity basics, which is a foundational course, which is a great course to introduce maybe into your computer science class, particularly if you're not experienced in cybersecurity. All those lessons are scripted and they're completely unplugged for students to just start learning kind of the vocabulary behind cybersecurity. And then so you can also take that course, our Cyber Society course, and the very technical cybersecurity course, all available on demand. We also have this year, which was new, our teacher cohorts that are available. So we have 3 teacher cohorts. We have the K-8, 9-12, and then we have one for teachers using the cyber range. I think that's a great opportunity because you will meet teachers across the U.S. who are teaching our content. The cohorts are ran by classroom teachers. And so it's a great opportunity to hear about what other teachers are doing in the classroom, share lessons, share other resources. And so the other thing I think to look at is just kind of getting your bearings in our curriculum. We do have a lot to offer in curriculum, but we've reimagined our Canvas login page. So now when you go in, you don't just see every course that's available. You see 4 buckets and you get to choose from elementary, middle, high school, and then our archived. So it gives you kind of like a gentler introduction to our content. So you can pick kind of where you are. And a great place to do is when you get in there and you see our courses, the courses are listed at the top. When you scroll down, you see a listing of resources. Those are great opportunities to kind of introduce you to some cybersecurity skills. So maybe you're not ready to teach cybersecurity, but maybe you're ready to introduce students. So we have the keys to cybersecurity, which is completely virtual, that a student can walk through on their own to learn about cybersecurity. So I think those are 3 kind of really great ways to get introduced to cyber.org.
I think those are such great pieces to offer and where to start. And I will say, as someone, and I mentioned this before we got on today officially, but I use cyber.org every day in my classroom with my high school students. It is actually one of my full courses is a cyber.org curriculum based, like you are my curriculum I have selected. And I was like, saw the transition happen between like having it all listed there on Canvas and like now kind of you call them your buckets. And I will say it's a beautiful transition. I got on one day, I was like, oh, this is so pleasant.
Yes.
And so it is, it's really wonderful. And I can speak to it as someone who started completely new this year and had actually not even been to one of your trainings and was like, I think I can figure this out. Completely user friendly and something that I have been able to really feel like I could latch onto and walk into myself. You guys have just made it so user friendly for someone to step into and feel really successful with the curriculum. So I think that it's very well done. So yes. Another question that one of our listeners had was, how can I make cybersecurity education hands-on and enjoyable for my students?
All right. So again, I think too, we're looking at grade level. If we're looking at high school, In middle school, I will say, I think the coolest thing that we have to offer is our cyber.org range. This provides, it's at no cost, again, everything we do. It's a safe virtual environment for K-12 students nationwide to learn cybersecurity skills. The great thing about the cyber range is those of you who have been in computer science for a while or cybersecurity, you know that every time you want to introduce a new tool, maybe your IT department doesn't appreciate it. So the good thing about our range is it just requires a web browser. If you're using our content, then the website for the range is already going to be on your allowable list. So that's great. The teacher makes their login, and then we give them pre-generated logins for students with pre-generated passwords and usernames. We don't collect any student PII with the cyber range. So again, really big win for IT departments. Our range actually began, we're located in Louisiana. It started with a $2 million Louisiana funded program, and we've expanded that out through CISA to now offer it to all 50 states. In fact, we are in all 50 states, and we have over 2,000 schools using our cyber range right now, and very little to no problems. We offer 3 virtual machines, or actually 4. We have a Kali Linux, a Windows 7, a Windows Defender, and an Ubuntu that we've just switched over. I also think too, you'll see that we're introducing middle school range lessons. Those will be coming out hopefully next month. So not only is the range great for high school, we think it's good for middle school students as well. I've had an opportunity to go to a student camp with 6th through 8th graders using our range, and it was very exciting to see how much fun they had and how like user-friendly and easy it was for them to go through those lessons. Another really great hands-on, completely unplugged activity for your middle school and high school are our ACEs scenarios, which is located in our Cyber Society course. Our Cyber Society course is a full year course. It's humanities, completely unplugged. And it's more about the law and ethics behind cybersecurity. Our ACEs scenarios actually allow students to kind of take on the role of a DHS agent, and they're giving a series of briefing packets. So it's kind of a really great tabletop exercise for your classroom. As the briefing packets are given to the students, they're also given guiding questions to kind of help them come to the solution, which is in this cyber scenario, who's at fault and what should our response be as the US government. And so at the end, they actually give a briefing to the president as a DHS agent when they figure out what happened in this scenario and who did it and why. So that's also a lot of fun to see students. And at the elementary level, all our basics lessons are all unplugged as well. And so they're all hands-on activities to help students learn about cybersecurity. So I think those are really great places to start for hands-on. And you can always too check out our traditional coding classes as well, where we use the microbit, and students have a lot of fun with those courses as well.
Yes, I love this. So I haven't seen anything beyond like the high school level, but my students love the range. They absolutely eat it up. My IT department loves the range because they're not having to. I will tell you, when I pitched to them a full year ago now, that I would like to start a cybersecurity course, and I wanted them to full on be doing some like true cybersecurity work, they were like, what could that look like? And I was like, well, I have an idea. And so they are really supportive of it. And my students absolutely have loved it. So I will say, very hands-on. They eat it up. They absolutely love it.
Right. And since it's sandboxed environment too, your students can only communicate in the classroom. They can't even communicate with your other classes or with anyone outside of the sandbox.
No, and I love that piece. I get to turn it off myself. I get to turn it on myself. I get control over every bit of that, which is just makes everyone feel so much more secure, which I think is the big piece when you start talking cybersecurity in a school for obvious reasons. So
Absolutely.
they love it. Georgette, thank you so much for joining us today. If our listeners want to find out more about cyber.org, your conference, EdCon, or where they can get this curriculum, or just questions of how I can get started on this, where do they go? Who can they reach out to?
Yeah, so of course our website, which is super easy, cyber.org. They can go on our site. They can click at the top, sign up and get our curriculum. They can click on the range at the top to sign up for that. They can scroll all the way to the bottom and sign up for our newsletter. And of course, they can follow us on LinkedIn, Facebook, and X, where we're constantly putting out information about new courses that are available, new professional development. On our workshops and events page, you can see what other conferences we'll be attending. So if you're planning to go there, you can check out one of our sessions. And then, of course, on our website, you can get all the information about EdCon 24, where we'd love to see everyone in Orlando, Florida, who wouldn't want to go to Universal this summer.
Who doesn't? I'm so jealous. I want to go as well. So that's just incredible. Thank you again. This is wonderful. Again, I can't sing the praises enough for cyber.org. It's something that I stepped into this year as like complete beginner, complete novice, was not sure what this was going to look like. And it has been a fantastic decision. I will also say, and Georgette, I haven't even shared this with you yet, but just so our listeners know, especially in Wyoming, we are, if you're in a Perkins funded school at that secondary, like the high school level, we have industry recognized credentials that we are held to and required to for some of our Perkins funding. And one of those recognized IRCs is a cyber citizen, is one that is recognized. And cybersecurity, one of the cybersecurity courses through cyber.org is meant to prep for that. My students recently took one of the practice exams as we're almost to the point of taking that. And the only information they weren't ready for on that test were the units we hadn't made it to yet. Everything else they absolutely knew and were prepared for. So very successful. 100% is getting them ready for an industry recognized certification, which isn't that exactly what we're after here, is
That's
putting
great to
kids.
hear.
It's amazing. So
And also just wanted to say you can always reach out to us at info@cyber.org. It's a real person who answers those emails. We don't use any bots. They're real people, and they're able to get to whoever you need. Our curriculum development writers are always talking with teachers during the day, hopping on calls with them. So we're always available to help teachers troubleshoot any issues they're having in the classroom.
wonderful. Oh, I love real people. That's
Real
fantastic.
people.
In this day and age, how amazing. Thank you again. Quick reminder to our listeners, please make sure you're following us on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. Stay up to date with all things CS with us. We hope to see you at the WACD Summer Conference, which will take place June 11th through 13th. CSTA Wyoming will have 3 full days of computer science PD. And elementary teachers, please be sure that you are joining us in that as well. Your day will be Wednesday, June 12th, which will be dedicated to elementary CS. If you have a cybersecurity resource or any questions you would like to share, please feel free to reach out to us. We would always like to hear from any of our members. Thank you all.